Okay. And I'm going to zoom up. This is just for you guys. Okay. So I'm going to do a new query. All right, I'm going to go to the web, and both databases are there. So I'll set them up, and then, as I said, what I'll do is, so it should be there. Is it up? It's up. I just want it up front. There it is. Where we want to go is github.com/spconger. Go away. So I'm going to go to database schema. It's one of my repositories on there. And as you go down, we want the Community Assist SQL, not the Community Assist, not the Community Assist 2017. That one I'm using for the 172. But just this. It doesn't, the 2017 doesn't have much data in it. I click on raw. I'm going to just copy. So I select it all, I copy. I'm going to paste. And you can execute. And it will create the database. And you can tell when you have all these rows, right? So that basically is just the SQL script. It creates it, it populates the data. And I had it on here already. So what it did is the very first things that it does are if I get to the very top of the script, I just want to go to the very top. Oh, there it is. I don't know what the red lines are for. Anyway, the very first thing it does is say if that database exists, delete it, and then recreate it. So when you run the script, if you've been doing things in the database, it all goes away because it goes back to its original form. Okay, so that's Community Assist, and you might have to, if it don't show up over here, you might have to actually right-click on databases and refresh. Now I have Metro Alt here too. Did I do this last time for us?
I think you were starting to show us at the very end.
Do you guys want me to do it again? Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? This one's a little different. So I'm actually going to delete Metro Alt. And then I will add it again. Okay. So this one is a little different. So I'm going to go to GitHub again. I'm going to go back. And we want to go all the way back to database schema. So in database schema, there is a Metro Alt log zip. And if you click on it, it won't open, right? Because it's a zip file. It should give us a thing saying that we can download it. So let's click on it. Okay, so I can't open it, but we can download it. And that's what I want to do. I'm just going to download it. I am going to save it. And it will save by default to the download folder. You can open the folder right here if you want, or you can go to C downloads, right? So it'll be in the downloads. I have two of them here because I did this last time. But what I want to do is I want to extract it. So I am going to right click. I am going to extract all. And I want to extract it to the folder where I need it. So I'm going to browse. Okay, and where we want to go is this PC, local disk C, program files, Microsoft SQL Server. I think it's this last one, Microsoft SQL Express, MS SQL, and data. So that's the folder we want to extract to. It's a long path, right? And it could vary a little on your machine depending on which version of SQL Server you have. But essentially it's program files, SQL Server, MS SQL 13, SQL Express. It could be MS SQL if you have a full version rather than SQL Express. If you named it when you installed it, it would have a name there, right? But you want to end up in the data folder. And then I'm going to do select folder. And then I'm going to extract it. Okay. And it ends up here. Notice this is all the things. You've got the Community Assist and you've got the Metro Alt. It still isn't going to be in the database. So once you've extracted it there, you need to go into the database and basically right-click on databases and say attach. Add, Metro Alt, OK. And it'll give you the two files there, and you do OK. So Metro Alt is there now, and it has all of its tables and data. And again, the reason why I did it that way for this is that it is way too big to script. It would literally make a 2,000 or 3,000 page document. So it's just much better to just move the files. There's other ways to do it. There's basically three ways to move databases. A script like this, which only works if you're only moving a table structure or minimal amount of data. You can move the database files, which again can be a problem with a real big database because a file could be a terabyte in size. Right, so that's a hard thing to move. Databases aren't really meant to be moved much. You can also back up the database and you can restore to a new server. That's another way to move things. You can back it up and restore to a new server. So that gives you the databases we're going to be working on. And it looks, so I am going to show you two things I forgot to show you last time. The other thing I want to show real quickly, so I'll go to, if you go to Canvas, so I'm going to go from here to Canvas. So I'm just going to do Canvas, Seattle Central. I want to show you again the blog because it has what we did last time. Okay, so let's go to the right course. And if I go to the syllabus, if you go down in the syllabus a little ways, there's a blog. And if you click on that, right here is what we did in class last time. I may add a couple of things to that because there's a couple of things I forgot to show you. Just two things that I can remember that I forgot to show you. But everything we do in class, I will try to videotape it. Video is an acronym. I will try to record it And I will also post this class samples on the blog. The assignments are very close to these. It's using a different database, but it's the same kinds of queries, right? So the two things that I forgot to tell you, and let's see if yours is working now.
It didn't work.
It didn't.
I wonder how big is your flat or your screen?
It's not very big.
It's like, is it bigger than 1 kilobyte?
I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is it's just an XML file that configures the drive. I'll look here in just a second. So let's do a new query. And I'm going to do this with Community Assist. So I'm going to say use Community Assist. That puts you in the right context. A lot of times when you are, when things don't work, it's because you're not in the right context. So then I'm going to, this is the part I forgot to show you. So I'm going to do top 10. I'm going to select top 10. Let's see. Donation date, donation amount, from donation, order by donation amount. So what it's going to do is it's just going to show the top 10. If you don't order by, it just takes the top 10 rows. Order, I mean, if the top 10 just returns literally top 10, right? So there's the date and the, actually it didn't order by the amount. Why did it not order by, oh, you know what, it did. I want descending. So there's the top one, so there we go. Now it's going by the highest amounts as opposed to the lowest amounts. So that was one of the things I didn't tell you that's in the assignment is top 10. Literally just top 10. Yeah.
So you can just put a dash, like line 3 or whatever.
That's a comment.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Last class.
Yeah, that's
Even
okay.
with the comment, does it just basically mean it's just going to grab a top 10 no matter what? Like,
So this will grab, if you don't have this order by, it just literally takes the first 10 rows of the table, whatever they are.
right, but did you have to put?
No, this
Three.
is, this?
Yeah.
No, that's just a comment. It's
Just
ignored.
to kind of give you like what's
Yeah,
coming?
that's
Okay.
just for what's coming. It ignores that. Actually, one of the things you can do for an assignment, a lot of people do this, is take the question and just paste it into the text here and just dash it so that you have the question and you run the SQL. Also, when you're turning things in, I don't need to see the answer. The SQL is what I need to see. I don't need to see the results. Does that make sense? Particularly in Metro Alt, some of the results will have 600,000 rows. I don't really want to see that. I can tell from the SQL if it worked or not. One of the nice things about this is you can always run it to test it, assuming we get in here. The other thing I forgot to tell you is, and again, just a comment, this is, see if I can remember. I don't use this very often, so often. It's offset. All right, so these are the top 10, right? And when I do this, but what if I wanted to see the next 10? You know, not the top 10, but the next 10. Sometimes you want to exclude the ends when you're doing stats and things. So I'm going to select donation date, donation amount. All right, from donation. Okay, and I'm going to order by. One of the things about the offset is it requires you to order by. and I'll do it descending. And then I'm going to say offset. Oh, do we want the next 10? Let's say offset 10. Oops, it has to be a number. And return offset 10 rows. Fetch. How many do we want? The next 10 or 5? Whatever you want. Fetch next 5 rows only. Let's do 5. Next. Which is a weird syntax, but basically it's telling you it's going to ignore the top 10 and it's going to return the next 5 rows. So just to show you what we had before, we had 1200. The last one was at 1500. So it's going to ignore those 10. And it returns 5. Now the 1500 is because there's two 1500 ones, so I got the one down below it. So those are the two things I forgot to show you last time. I think I showed you everything else that was in these.
So it'd be like the next 5 after the top 10.
Right, so it ignores the top 10 and then returns the next 5. And these numbers can be whatever, right? You could ignore the top 100 if you want, or you could ignore the top 2, you know, whatever you wanted to. It's just a way, these are ways of just choosing, you know, like, so if you have millions of records and you only want to see your top ones or your bottom ones, it's fairly easy. Top 10 for bottom ones works fine if it's an ascending sort, right? These are, top 10 is meaningless without the sort, but it will run. I mean, it just literally takes whatever the top 10 rows or whatever the top rows are that you say. This number, again, can be whatever. This one doesn't require the order by. This one does. This one will not work if you don't order by. So I think that, as I said, I think that's all that I didn't cover. And then I will try to, we'll see if we can figure out some more. Have you had any luck setting things up on yours? Just keep downloading the other one, I guess, because we haven't had much if you're doing it on there. I don't know if they'll even make it for you.
Mine says it'll be done as class ends.
As class ends. And you're still downloading the other one too, right?
I paused it.
You paused it. So I'm going to add this to the blog. And I think I will stop the video.